When I was your age, I dreamed of wearing the uniform, not for the pride, or not for the fame, or not for the power, because what it actually meant for. That is responsibility, discipline, and service. And for a long time, since my school, I always wanted to fly those fighter jets, lead missions, and stand shoulder to shoulder with the soldiers. And this dream stayed with me through the school, through the college, and even after I started working. But life doesn't always go as planned. So instead of the armed forces, I ended up in the world of IT, where I started working on products, softwares, and services. But deep inside, the urge to do something good, to serve, never left me. So, just like all of you, on one fine day, I was stuck in a huge traffic jam, frustrated, and that is when it hit me that this too is a battlefield. Not the one with the guns and the grenade, but the ones which we fight between chaos and calm, the fight between frustration and patience. And then I thought to myself that maybe it's not the color of the uniform which defines the service. It's the pride in your chest, the purpose in your step, and the choice to show up is what matters. So I decided that I wanted to do something else and different. I chose and volunteered to be a traffic warden with Bengaluru City Police. They gave me a uniform with a rank on the shoulders and a responsibility to help Bengaluru and its people on the road. And in this role, I learned something very powerful. And in traffic, just like in life, the real heroes are not the ones who complain. They are the ones who step forward, take charge, and bring order when everything around them feels like going out of control. So, through my journey, I would like to share 3 lessons with you today. The first one is about the illusion of authority. So I hope all of you would have seen a traffic police or a traffic warden standing at the signal even when the traffic is flowing smoothly. The roads are clear, there is no chaos on the road, but still they're standing on the road. They're waving their hand, they're blowing the whistle, and they're making an eye contact with each one of you. At first, it may seem unnecessary, but if you look closer, you will realize that they are there not just to manage the traffic, but they are also sending you a message. The message that everything is in control, keep moving, and you're safe. That is when I first saw it, the illusion of authority. People follow not because of force, but because of confidence. The calm posture, a simple gesture, and, and a firm hand, it gives people clarity. And that is when I thought to myself that this is leadership in the rawest form. No long speeches, no shouting, just presence and just directions. So I asked myself, where else can I apply this? So, in my job as a product owner, I do not control people. I work with people. I have developers, designers, testers, all brilliant in their own ways. My job is not to push them. My job is to guide them. And sometimes it can be as small as, stepping up in a meeting and saying, let's not panic. Let's solve this problem one step at a time, one blocker at a time. Just like a traffic warden, raising one hand in the air, one clear instruction, and then there is clarity in the middle of confusion. And you know what? It works. It works even in your schools. Think about it. You would always know a classmate who doesn't shout, doesn't fight, But when he or she speaks, everybody listens. Not because he's the loudest, but because he carries clarity. And this is what I have learned from the road. That it's not about being the loudest, or it's not about dominating. It's about giving direction. It's not about being in charge. It's about knowing where to lead. The second thing that I would like to share with all of you is about the road itself. That road doesn't belong to any of us. So I have spent a lot of time standing on the road, not in a car, not on a bike, but standing in the middle of chaos, managing vehicles and emotions of people on the road. And this is what I have noticed, that almost all of us are in a hurry, and almost all of us wants to get ahead. But when we cannot, we lose it all. We honk, we yell, we shout, we fight. Sometimes you're riding on a footpath, and sometimes you're coming through a wrong way. But why do we do that? That is because at that moment, we believe in something very dangerous, that my time matters more than yours. But that is not urgency, that is entitlement. And in that moment, you forget the most simple thing, that road doesn't belong to you, it belongs to all of us. It's a shared space designed to take you from point A to B, not to pick up fights with XYZ. And that is true in life. For example, your school is a shared space, so is your office, and so is your home as well. And you're not the only one who's navigating through deadlines, dreams, and difficulties. So when you take a shortcut, you are also creating delay for someone else. Your frustration can be someone else's fear. So what do we do? So what is the solution? So here's the shift. Stop thinking like you are the owner of the road. Start thinking that you are the servant of the road. Be a person who respects the space, protects the people, and moves with purpose and not pride. So next time when you're on the road, do not raise your voice, rather raise your awareness. And if next time you're stuck in a traffic, do not ask, why is it happening to me? Rather ask, what can I do to not make it worse for the others around me? Because real leadership doesn't start when you're the first in the line. It actually starts when you realize you're not the only one in the line. The third thing that I would like to share is about time. Many people who know me usually ask me, how do I manage time? And on the outside, it looks like a lot because I have a full-time job. I create content on armed forces. I host podcasts. I work with NGOs, and I also give service as a traffic warden. I trek on the weekends. But the truth is, I do not manage time. I manage energy. I only do things which I love. And there are only few things which I love, so I always end up with more time. So this is what happens. So when you start doing what you love, it doesn't drain you. It energizes you. And that changes everything. So the next follow-up question would be, how do I find what I love? So it's easy, but you have to start noticing. If there is any activity which you do, which you enjoy, you feel joyful, you feel energized after doing that, start doing more of it. And if there is an activity which frustrates you, drains you, do less of it and then eventually stop doing it. And this reminds me of a question which Naval Ravikant had once asked in a podcast, that if you're so smart, why haven't you figured out yet how to be happy? And that question stuck with me. And this my mantra of, choosing joy, choosing energy over time is small way of answering it. Because when you choose to be with people and activities of same frequency as yours, your life doesn't become busy. It becomes full. It becomes meaningful. And maybe the secret is not about having better schedules, it is about having better choices. And when you stop chasing time and start chasing energy, what eventually happens is you do not live by the clock, you live by your compass. And to the young audience here, if there is one thing that I want all of you to take away from all of this which I've spoken, is this: that you don't need a uniform to serve, you don't need a title to lead, and you definitely don't have to control your time. You just have to honor it by doing what matters the most. The roads will test your patience, life will test your clarity, and time will test your choices. But in all of it, remember, be kind when you have power. Be calm when everybody around you is losing it. And do only those things which makes you feel alive, because that is where your time belongs. So next time, as a student, when you wear your uniform or your school badge, or if you work, you're wearing your office badge or the title that you have owned, wear it with pride. But more importantly, wear your values louder than that, because that is what the world will remember. Thank you.